The most important, the entire reason why I'm taking this time off, I need to build my chicken coop. Can't build it with wet materials. But as it stands now, I have to go build all the walls. All right, I look lovely. I just finished putting the framing together for the back wall. I'm gonna put the siding on it now, and then I'll just have the front wall to do. And I got all the walls done. I'm not sure how this is gonna go tomorrow. I'm expecting tomorrow is going to be the day where I actually put it all together. I think it's gonna take me the rest of the night to get the back and front wall done. It's just so much nailing. Like on just one of the side panels, there's 108 nails. So it's a lot of nailing. I kind of think I should go get a heavier hammer. I have an 8-pound hammer and it's working well. It's just taking a lot of strikes to get it to go all the way through. And also I'm encountering issues where the wood is like warped. And I don't know if that's because it's been sitting for so long or if that's just how it is. But I'm having to make adjustments. But I did not realize that it said, the instructions were kind of unclear. I didn't realize that the siding panels were supposed to be flush on all sides of the framing. Besides the bottom, there's an inch overhang on the bottom intentionally. I don't have that. And I did make sure that both of the frames were square before I started putting on the sheeting. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. I did realize that I had overhang on two sides, or on one side on both of the side walls. And so I tried to be intentional about what side I put the overhang on so that it would be like, so I could use one wall as the left wall and one as the right, and the overhang's on the same side for both walls. So there's that, because it does clearly say to make it flush with the top of the wall frame, but it didn't clearly specify that it should be that way on the sides. But I also, unless I just really messed up my square, I just don't see that happening. And I'm kind of interested to see if I can get these walls up tomorrow and get them squared properly with that unintentional overhang or unplanned overhang that is not supposed to be there in the plans. I'm really hoping it doesn't mean that I have to undo all of those nails and re-nail the siding sheet. I'm hoping, worst case scenario, I just have to get my jigsaw out and cut it out, or cut that excess off. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't know what's gonna happen until I'm trying to do it, and then it's gonna piss me off in the moment. So yeah, it's another scorcher. I've been trying to take breaks. It's just a lot of work. I'm sure my neighbors are more than annoyed by me. And the neighbors next door, I feel horrible. Somebody just had a baby, like within the last 2 days. So unfortunate timing for this project, but the more I get done now, the more I don't have to do later. And the closer I get to the finish line, the closer you will never have to hear me use a hammer again. I accidentally brought a friend inside. I think it's okay. It looks kind of squished, but I think it just looks like that. I'm so terrified it's gonna freak out in my house. I'm fine with cicadas, but they're unpredictable.
Good morning, all. It's almost 8:30. I've been up for a little bit. As much as I've been trying to sleep in, I haven't been doing so at all. So I'm tired. I'm sore. I don't even want to say sore. My muscles are just like really tight. So I tried doing some yoga this morning to kind of loosen up a little bit, and I'm gonna go putz around the garden and just harvest stuff for a little bit while it's cooler this morning, and just to get my muscles working before we really get into anything heavy. I also don't want to start hammering this early. I know that I technically probably can, but I'm just trying to be respectful of my neighbors because it's going to be a long day of hammering again. I am really nervous that these walls are not going to be square and I'm going to have to redo them. It's probably why I didn't sleep very well last night, because I just kept thinking about that and it's really weighing on me. I hope it all works out. Send me good thoughts. But yeah, I'm going to put on some sunscreen because, I mean, with how much I've been sweating, the sunscreen that I've been putting on my face has definitely been rubbing off, and I haven't reapplied it at all just because I'm trying to get stuff done. But my face is getting a little red and I'm getting a little sunburned, so can't have that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna harvest some stuff for a little bit. I need to pull some herbs. I know I have peas out there. I know I have green beans. I want to check my cucumbers. I know I saw a little baby cucumber on there, so I want to see if any of the plants have even little tiny ones. And I want to see if that little pumpkin that was on, I'm assuming it's a pumpkin. I don't know what it is, but there's a big, beautiful volunteer squash of some kind in my garden, and it looks like it's putting off little pumpkins. So I'm interested to see what it is and see if it got pollinated, because there was one before and it didn't get pollinated. None of the male flowers were open yet. And that thing's putting off a lot of male flowers. So I think it'll be really good for squash blossom treats. I've never really done anything with those, but that's because I never wanted to use any of them. But there are literally so many squash blossoms on this little plant that I think it can spare a few. We're gonna get to it. Day 3. Hi. All right, back up. Hi. Yes, hello. Okay, back up.
currently 11:40. Gotten 2 of the walls up. I don't know how it's gonna all come together. It's really weird because I've checked all the corners of my walls and they're all square, but the panel didn't line up with it flush on all sides except for the bottom, like it was apparently supposed to. So it's just weird. It's just weird. Things that are supposed to be flush are not perfectly flush. They're like close enough where I think I can skirt by. I'm just really curious how this wall, I'm doing the left wall now. So it'll be the wall on the west side. Not that that means anything to you. So I got 2 of the walls up. I got the right wall, which will be the wall that it's the wall that's facing the chicken, or the chicken run. So that's going to be the wall that I'll cut the coop doors into, like for the chickens to get out. I have 2 big doors on the front end for like me to access the coop. So the thing about the doors is that the opening is supposed to be 48 inches. And it's 48 and then 48 and a quarter. But it's also square. Like, it's not making sense to me. I hate math. I hate stuff like this. I just want to put stuff together and it works. So we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to come together, and I don't know if it doesn't come together the way it's supposed to, if it's something that I can kind of finagle and get away with and it still all comes together appropriately, or if I'm going to have to take everything apart. I hope not. I hope not, simply because I can't do another day of this. I just like don't have the energy. Like sitting down hurts and like doing anything hurts. And so I'm ready to be done with it. Obviously, it's going to have to take however long it's going to have to take for it to get done properly, but I'm really hoping it comes together still. I'm currently taking a break because the noon sun is directly on me, and I can't be lifting 100+ pound walls that are 6x8. I can't be lifting them up and like running around and doing all the stuff I need to do with the sun beating directly on me. So I came inside, cooling down a little bit. I'm gonna do some laundry, but I keep taking a peek out there, waiting to see when the sun is gonna be behind my tree so I can get back out there. I don't know why I'm so far off camera, sorry. Yeah, I'm just a little pooped today. So I'm not as in great spirits because I feel like, for the past 2 days it's been going pretty good. But now that I have to put everything together, it's a little scary. I did have to take down the right wall after I put it up, after I had put every single nail, besides the one on the outside perimeter, but the ones on the inside that are supposed to be like the inside bracing. I put 8 nails in on that frame, and then realized somehow as I was like holding up the wall and trying to nail it in all at the same time, I shifted where it was. And so it was about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch off the base, or it was spaced out further from the base than it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be flush, and I realized on both ends it was just off. And so I was trying to think of what the hell to do. I had to go get the crowbar to try and pry it up, but it's just so heavy and it's so awkward. And also it's screwed into a support brace on one end so it can stand up by itself. So that was really hard. And what I ended up doing is basically just letting it kind of supported. I supported it as it kind of fell down and just bent the nails. And I was able to hammer them out and fix that, and that made the fit way better. So the panels are not touching on the back right corner, but I believe that the trim, I think there's supposed to be trim there. If there's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know, maybe get a little sliver of OSB from a spear project or something, nail it in there, and then put trim on the corners, even though I wasn't planning on doing that. But it does not meet up in that corner, which is not great, but I don't know what to do. So good morning, guys. It's about 9 a.m. and I'm feeling so tired. I have one more day of working on this shed, and I just don't have it in me. I'm gonna get it done because I don't need another half-finished project in my house. But I'm so tired. I'm so glad that it's coming together, and I've had very few issues. I mean, I did have to take down 3 of the walls 3 times yesterday. I mean, I had fully nailed them into the floor and everything. So I had to take them down 3 times to get the flooring to line up correctly. But once that happened, okay, so I had to take down 3 of the walls 3 times because they weren't lining up properly, and it was a nightmare, and I ruined so many nails. But somehow, even though none of the panel corners lined up like they were supposed to, and I had to kind of improvise in some ways because I could not get the boards to actually line up the way they were supposed to, even though all of that happened, somehow when I was done putting up all 4 walls, I ended up with a completely square, plumb, level structure without any adjustments. Somebody's looking out for me because that doesn't happen to me. So I'm really glad that it worked out. Yeah, I really can't believe that. I broke every single one of my nails. Every single one of my nails is gone. So that's a bummer, but I'll just have to grow them back out. Yeah, I basically have a couple trim pieces left to do. I have the roof and I have the doors. I have to get the roof on today. I really have to get all of it on today. I'm just like not feeling it. I'm not feeling it today. So I don't know. I might run to the gas station and get myself like a little energy drink or like a pick-me-up just to get myself through it, but I really don't want to. I can tell you that right now. I don't want to do any of this, but I'm going to get the doors on. The doors are basically the only thing. Well, the doors I'm really worried about, and then also just the height of trying to get onto the roof to, you know, do all that. I'm just a little unsure about that as well. So I gotta do that. I still have to put the roof purlers on, which is just some 2x4s. I don't know what these are. I'm assuming some kind of trim for something. And then I just basically, I got a couple trim pieces. I got the doors. I got these two somethings. And then I have the roof stuff. And that's really all I got to do, which, you know, is to say I still have a lot to do. But I think I can do it. The doors really worry me, though. The doors really worry me because I'm just so nervous that opening is not going to be even. I've measured it. It seems like it's like 1/4 of an inch off, so I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, you know? I can only have that opening where it is, you know? So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Saturday. It's officially the weekend. After tomorrow, I'll have to return to work. And unfortunately, I'm on day 5 of building this shed. So yesterday, I tried to put the roof on, and they have you tie a string, and you're supposed to align the panels with that string. But I don't know what it was. The panels just kind of like never lined up with the string, and at first I thought maybe my string was just sagging and that's why. So I tried to like compensate for that, and I just ended up with a completely wonky roof. And so I started putting up one whole side of the roof panels, and when I got to the last panel, it's not hitting the edge evenly. It's very diagonal, and I'm trying to decide if I care, because it looks fine and it seems like it's gonna be pretty watertight, but I'll have a drip edge that goes over that edge that'll cover that. So I'm like, do I really care? So I'm gonna work on the other side of the roof and see if maybe I can do that one a little bit better, and that'll kind of help me decide how I'm gonna go forward. The fact of the matter is, I'll have a piece of galvanized metal at the peak that will, you know, cover any overlap or not overlap that I don't have. So I'm not worried about that. And then I have the drip edge. So I'm just this close, you know, like I'm this close. I got the doors on last night. The doors went on so painlessly. Of course, I didn't get any video of it because I thought I did hit record on my GoPro and then it died. So unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of me putting the doors up, and I didn't realize that until, you know, after they were up. But they went on pretty painlessly. The door support that they have you screw on to like hold the door up while you're screwing it in, the distance that they wanted that placed from this trim is not where mine lined up. It ended up working out just fine. I just had to shift it just a little bit, and then it went on painlessly. So that was really exciting. I thought my worry with the roof not lining up properly is like maybe the structure isn't square, even though I checked it like 300 times before they had me put on the gables and all the trim and whatever. I got worried that maybe in doing all of that, the structure became unsquare, and there's no real good corner for me to grab now to grab any accurate measurements. It's really hard to do, but I know that my structure was square before I started doing all of the trim pieces and the gables and stuff. So I'm hoping it's just an issue with me just struggling to line it up with the string. I need to go to Menards once again. I need to go there. I need to get some silicone. I thought I had some, but it's expired, so it didn't work. So I need some silicone before I can put the windows in. I think while I'm there, I'm just gonna grab a chalk line. I was using, I tried paracord because that's what I had and that's what I thought would work the best. And I think that was sagging the most, honestly. And then I tried some really tight woven cotton yarn that I had, and that worked out better, but it still did not line up properly. So I'm gonna go get a chalk line. I need to get going on this roof and getting it done because I really, really, really need to get it done before this weekend. I really do not want to go into a work week with the shed not completed. I do have today and tomorrow, so you know, there's that. Today it's really humid. It rained all night, all morning. It actually started raining on me yesterday while I was outside watching fireworks. So it's been raining for a bit. I checked the shed. There was a hole in the tarp that I put over the I put a tarp over the roof because I knew it was going to rain, and I did not want the structure to get soaking wet, so I wouldn't be able to put the roof on today. So there was a little hole in the tarp. It did get some water inside, but it's on the floor and it's such an insignificant amount that I'm not worried about it. The doors, because I did not have caulk, I could not put the windows in yesterday, so unfortunately the window frames are a little damp, so I gotta let those dry out. So yeah, I got some things to do. So I'm gonna take a break today. I'm gonna take a break. I almost kicked you over. So yeah, I'm gonna head to the store. Well, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna head to the store, and then we'll see what I end up doing today. guys. I'm here in the final hours of my time off, feeling very sad that my time off is ending, but feeling overall very accomplished with what I completed in the past 6 days. It wasn't as much as I had planned, but the stuff that I did get done, I mean, what an accomplishment. I don't know what else to say about it. The shed is up. I'm not done with it completely. I still have the finishing work to do, like caulking all the seams, painting it. I have to, convert the inside to a chicken coop. But the structure itself, all the materials that came in the kit, they're up. It's done. And I did it all by myself. And it feels crazy. It feels crazy to be on the other side of it, Each day has felt like a lifetime. But I got it done. And I survived. And I didn't cry once. So my chicken Loretta is still broody, and I expect her to stay that way. She usually does unless I break her of it. She's usually broody for quite a long time. So I'm not really that worried about it, but I would like to still, continue with this momentum. So the goal is to finish the inside of the chicken coop this week, and then hopefully by the end of the week, I can get her moved. I'll have to do it at night, but I'll move her into the new coop and the new nest boxes that I'm going to build. And then hopefully this weekend I'm getting chicks. So in addition to completing the coop, I did get my front yard cut. I bought some plants. I did spend some time relaxing, which is always a nice little bonus. And I started bagging my grapes. So I did get some other stuff done, but it was basically full steam ahead on the shed. So that took all my energy. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but I'm glad it's done. And it, having it take longer does not make me feel any less thrilled by the fact that I did it. And my neighbor's dad was hyping me up yesterday, literally took his hat off to me. Yeah. I just kind of feel on cloud 9. I gotta be honest with you. So I'm gonna go stare at it some more.